Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Kaustubh Bhausa and under my capstone project series, I am working on this DevOps playlist. In last part of Docker, the beginner friendly tutorial, we had covered almost all basic things. So exactly, I will share the table of contents you can see. So everything is covered like before Docker, what is Docker, images and container concept, Docker commands, Docker image layers, port binding, Docker versus virtual machine, Docker network. So all the basic concepts related with Docker and all the commands, basic commands which you need to know before using or before implementing Docker in your project is completed in part 1 of the Docker, which is a beginner friendly tutorial. So if you haven't watched this, you can watch that video before this. Now in this video we will be mostly talking about building our applications using Docker, what are Docker compose, how we can Dockerize our own application, and then what Docker volumes are. So let's get started. In last video, we had covered the concept of Docker network, and in that we get to know that network is something in which two or more containers they can like interact with each other without port binding. So there is no need to access the port of one container by another container to interact in a network. That is why the network concept is important. Now we will actually see how we can develop with Docker. So for that, I have come up with a basic application, and we will go through that as well. So I will open my VS Code first. You can see. So this is a normal Node.js application, and I will run it for you. So first of all, the very important thing before starting this is this compose.yml. This file, if this is not the file which we want in our project, then also we can run this project. But we will learn about compose in more details in upcoming video. But for now, just suppose there is no file which is compose.yml. Now we can start by running this project. So I will just explain you. This is a normal Node.js project, and we have like you can see a normal index.html. So here a basic structure is there. I will open a terminal for you, and I will run this project. So I will just write a command node server.js because my main backend file is server.js. And if you will see what is there in server.js, you can see I have just created a like normal application in which there will be one UI. I will show you the UI first. So node server.js. I will hit enter. Now the application will start running on port 5050. So it is taking some time. Yes, we can now see the server is running on port 5050. So I will just switch to my browser, and in a new window, I will try to open localhost 5050. So just open a new window in browser and type localhost 5050. You can see this is the UI of the project. So this is nothing but hi student, welcome to this Docker workshop. What we can do here is we can add our details. We can add the email, username, password. We will create account, and also if you will carefully see this server.js, we have given some roots. So this is get user. So on slash get user, I can see all the data of the users, and on add users the data will be added. Now the important catch here is we are using MongoDB as the database, but suppose your local machine does not have MongoDB database. So what you are going to do in that particular case? So the first thing is you will download the MongoDB and set up it. But do you really think it is the only like option for you? There is another approach for that. If you do not have any particular service running on your local and you want to use that in your project, here comes the Docker part. Now you can use Docker to use your my like MongoDB as a service without implementing on your local machine. So how we are going to do that? So for that we need two images. One is our Mongo image and one is our Mongo Express image. Now what is exactly Mongo image and Mongo Express image are going to do for us? Mongo image is nothing but it is our database, and Mongo Express is the UI for our database. So like if we download MongoDB, we can access it by our terminal. our shell. So similarly, if we do not have MongoDB set up on local, but we use we want to use that, so we can use it by as a Docker image. We can create that container, but we need a UI to interact with our database, and here we are going to use Mongo Express, which is a UI for our MongoDB. So without wasting time, I will show you one thing. If I am going to type slash get users, it will not display any kind of result to me. The reason is I am not connected with my database yet, but I do not have database setup. So moving to my documentation, here you can see when we are developing with Docker, and suppose I need this particular Mongo command. So for that, this is my Mongo command. So I will open my command prompt and I will just type this command, which is docker run. You know what is hyphen d means? It means we are running our container in detach mode. Now I will write, I will port bind it. So you know the concept of port binding, which is also discussed in last video. The first port is our host user port, and the another port is our actual container port. So if you will go through the documentation of MongoDB, you will get to know that 27017 is the default port for our MongoDB. Now I just binded my port. Now I will give a dummy name, which is my Mongo image name. Now I will give a network. So I will try to give network as my network. The important thing is, if I have my network created already, it is going to use that. But if it is not created earlier, then it is going to create my network, a new network, and then it is going to use that. So this was very simple till now. But now I told you, for some commands we need to use some environment variables. So for Mongo, we need to use -e Mongo underscore initdb underscore root underscore username. I am going to put username as admin. Do not try to give extra space here. It might uh, give you error. Now I completed for username part. Now I will give it for password part. So Mongo underscore initdb and then underscore again root and password. Now I'll give password as admin only. So my username and password both are admin and admin. Now after this, I will write the name of image which I want to exactly pull from Docker Hub, because I want to use Mongo image. If it is not present in my Docker, it is going to pull it from Docker Hub. But if it is already present there, it is directly going to create a container and run this container, because we are using Docker run. So just for you, I'll again try to zoom the complete command. It is Docker run -d means detach mode -p port binding 27017 colon 27017 means binding my 27017 host port with actual port of container, which is 27017. Give him a name as Mongo, then defining network as my network, giving two environment variables, Mongo initdb username as admin, Mongo initdb password as admin, and finally writing the name of image. I will hit enter. Now you can see a container ID is generated here. It means that if I will go to Docker Hub now, you can see one image Mongo. It is showing a green dot. So going to container section, you can see a container of name Mongo is running. But I now want to check my database how it is exactly looking. So for that, I need something which is going to provide me UI. For that, Mongo Express came into the room. So now I will try to pull the Mongo Express image. I will write the command docker run -d -p. It runs on 8081 colon. I'll map with 8081 only. Give it name as --name Mongo dash Express. Again, the same network should be given. So I will give network as my network. And then moving forward, this also has some environment variables. So what are the exact environment variables? I will show you. I just noted down that part in my PPT as well. So you can see here, it is docker run -d, bounded the port -name Mongo Express, given network name. Now This is me underscore config underscore MongoDB underscore admin username. So I will try to write it here. I am just minimizing this so that I can write it more efficiently. So hyphen a, and I will write me underscore config underscore MongoDB underscore admin username. What will be my admin username? This is as same as which you have given for your Mongo because both are dependent. Now, similar thing for my password. So me underscore config underscore MongoDB then underscore admin password. My admin password will also be admin only. Now, if you go through MongoDB documentation of this particular Mongo Express image, you might not see the last part or the last environment variable, which is not updated yet. But if you are watching this, I hope you will add that as well. So, last environment variable is hyphen e space me underscore config, then again underscore MongoDB, then underscore URL. And now, what will be my URL? It will be MongoDB colon double slash then admin, which is my username colon admin, which is my password, and then at the rate mongo because it is dependent on mongo image colon 27017. Complete this. Again, I will maximize it for you. Look into the command again, which is docker run hyphen d hyphen p, which is port binding hyphen names. I have given Mongo Express name as for this container. Then hyphen network, which is my network. Then hyphen e. These are three environment variables. Yes, but lastly we need to write the name of image, which is my Mongo dash express. I will hit enter. Now you can see again a container ID is displayed here. Now I will again move to my Docker hub. You can see now Mongo Express container is also created. Now if I will move to my browser and again I will try to use localhost 5050, it is going to I will need to run it again, sorry. Yes, node server.js. You can see it is running on port 5050 now. Now you can see the UI. But earlier slash generate get user was giving me the issue, but now it is not going to give me issue. I will hit enter. You can see there is nothing because we have not stored anything in our database. Now, how you can store it in your database? Just write anything here. I will write ABC, 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 each and everything. I will create account. You can see the account is now created, and I will just close this extra window, and now again in next window I will use localhost 5050 slash get users. Now I should be able to see that ABC data. I will hit enter. Now you can see I'm able to see that ABC data. I have ID, email, username and password. But this is not a good way to analyze what are the values in our database. So we need UI, and that is why we have used Mongo Express. So how we can use Mongo Express? If you remember, we have binded our port to 8081. So just write localhost colon 8081. Now it is going to ask you username and password, but this will not be as same as which you have given you in your command. It will be standard. The first one will be admin and the password will be PASS. I will write here for you. The password will be PASS. It is a standard thing. So just follow the same. I will sign in. Now you can see I have this complete Mongo Express UI created here. Now, if you will clearly see this ABC thing, so just go to your code and check which database you are using. So I am using MongoDB as my database. And what is my exact name of that particular database in which I am storing all my collection? It is a Kaustubh-DB. So just move to UI and you can see here Kaustubh-DB database is already created. I will open this. In this, I'm not able to see anything as for now. So I will create a collection named users. I will add on create collections. And now in created collection, you can see all the data. So you might be wondering how this is exactly happening. The reason is if you will check the code, you can see in code, I am using this database and users as my collection. So simple thing, Now if I am going to add any other thing from here as well, so if I will now add PQR as my details for each and every value, I can write some different thing as well, but I'll write just simple thing. I will create account, close this, and move to my database. And if I will refresh now, uh, I am able to see this details. And now if I want to add details from here also, I can just click on this new document, and here I will add username first, user name as my name. So you might be knowing some basic database related concepts. Username, I will add my email, so email will be also similar thing for me. And lastly I will try to add my password, so I will just add a dummy password here. And after I will save this, you can see I'm able to see these three data entries here. But am I able to see on my application as well? So just check that, refresh this again. Now click on pretty print. You can see all the three important things. So simple thing which I wanted to demonstrate in this overall example is, if you want to use anything, any service which is not present on your local into your project, you can use that service by the help of Docker. How you are going to use that, I just given you complete demonstration. Now going very specifically in this example, what we did is we created a node application. In that we just wanted to store the records and retrieve the records, but for that we need a database. We do not have a local database, that's why we used like a remote Docker Hub image called Mongo to store our data. And just to analyze, just to like handle the UI or to access the UI, we used Mongo Express. As simple as that. Now uh, like we are going to move forward, I will just close everything, and I will stop the running containers as well. So I will first move to Docker, and I will just click on this both containers, running containers. First I need to stop both. You might be knowing why I am stopping before deleting, because if I will not stop, they will not be deleted. So now I am deleting all the two containers. Again going to images, I can see for my Mongo and Mongo Express there is no container created. Now moving to my presentation. So I just told you how you can develop basic things with Docker. But now we will analyze the concept of Docker Compose. If you will clearly see, the issue here is, here are the two commands which I used as a external service for my application. But if you'll clearly think, is it really feasible to type this much long command each and every time? The simple answer is no. And if I want to bind my port to different port, suppose I wanted to access this on 8082. I need to delete the container, I need to rerun the command, and really telling, it is very hard to edit the things in your terminal. So how you are going to do that? How you are going to avoid each and every this situation? So for that, Docker Compose came into the role. What Docker Compose exactly is, I will read the definition for you. It is a simpler way or method for defining and running multi-container application. What multi-container application mean is, your application contains more than one container. So here we in our application we had Mongo container and Mongo Express container. So it is a multi-container application. The another way is you are going to like run your each and every container manually, which we did right now in our terminal by writing this too many big commands. This is not a standardized way. So for that, we use a .yml file, which is yet another markup language file, and we just write our services which we want to exactly incorporate in our Docker. And after that we just write two commands, one for starting the services and another for another command for stopping the services. And just writing these two commands, I am able to access everything. But how exactly Docker Compose file looks like, that is why I have created this file. So now I will explain you Docker Compose file. You can see a version. If you are not going to write version, there is no issue, because in newer version of Docker Compose it is not necessary. After that, the important thing here is, I will close this as well. I will delete this terminal. You can see now the main thing in Docker Compose is compose.yml. So you can give any name, Docker, compose, or composed, or file name .yml, but the extension should be .yml. Here I told you about version. Now you need to write services, and in that services you are going to write the images and trying to pull that images. So now just remember, this is my Mongo, the name of image, and this is the image which I am pulling. This is my port binding. These are my environment variables. It is very easy to access it, edit it, and again add any different service. So using this terminal part is a very generalized thing. We are going to avoid that, and we are simply going to use this kind of structure in which there will be compose.yml file. Will write some services. So this is my one service, this is my another service, and you will see in next part we are going to do three services as well. So the simple thing is, you have to write the name of your service. This is service name, the image which is associated with your service, the port, the environment variables, and if you want you can add network here as well. Now suppose you have created this file, just open a new terminal, and now you can see, if I am going to run this command, it is not now accessible because I have stopped everything. If I'll go on localhost 8081, it is not going to give me any result because I have stopped all my containers. It is not running, both are not, site are not reachable. Now what I will do is, I will write that command. So it is docker compose hyphen f and my file name .yml. So my file name is compose .yml, and I will write up. So just to verify this command, this is my docker compose hyphen f file name .yml up. So I'll just return that command into my VS Code. We can run it into detach mode. I will hit enter. You can see running 1 out of 3, and then it is telling me container. Now it is telling that running 3 out of 3. So there are 3 services which are currently running. Now what I will do is, I will just write node server.js. I am starting my application. So I just started the application, and now I will go to my browser. I will hit enter here. So now on localhost 5050 my application is running. On localhost 8080 my database is running. You can see there is no database named Kaustubh-db is created here because we have not pushed any entry. We can do it manually. I'll just write Kaustubh-db create database. Go on to that database, create a collection named users. If you will go and see get users, there is no data. If I will add a new document from here, so I will write a new document, add it, then I will add email again, uh, a dummy email, and then lastly I will add my password. So I will again add some dummy password here. Now I will save this, and okay, it is telling some invalid thing. So I just missed a double quote here. Now we'll save that. Okay, you can see the data is displayed here. I will go to my slash get users, refresh that. You can see same data is displayed here. Moving to normal localhost 5050, I will add a dummy my entry here. So I will add anything different thing. I will create an account. I will close this and again move to my database. Refresh that. You can see two entries are there. Again, go on slash get users. I can see two entries here. So now I hope you have understood. The important thing is, we just eliminated writing big commands, too much big commands into terminal. Instead of that, you can also see Mongo Express and the containers are running. But now the containers, they have Mongo 1 and Mongo Express 1 as a default name because we have not given any particular name. But the important thing is, we have not written any command manually. We have just summarized our services, our port binding, our environment variables, image name into a file which is compose.yml. And I just used one command which is my docker compose -f file name.yml space up. I am able to access each and everything. I hope developing with Docker basic part is understandable to everyone. So you understand the concept that if you want to use any service which is not present on your local machine, how you are exactly going to use that. Moving forward to the next thing, now we will dockerize our own application. So just a like fun part, you can go to Docker Hub and open the Docker Hub and just search for any kind of images. You can search for Ubuntu image, or you can search for Hello World image, MySQL image, MongoDB image, or like Mongo Express, any kind of image. Just open your Docker Hub and try to open any kind of image. Now, uh, like I will close my running application till that time it is loading. So I just close that. Moving to my Docker, I will delete this first because it is not necessary. I will delete that, and now again going to my browser, close this, closing all the part. Now I hope Docker Hub is now like everyone is able to access the Docker Hub. So just open Docker Hub and search for any kind of image. So I will search for hello world image. So just write hello dash world and hit enter. So as soon as you are going to search about any particular image, the results will be displayed in order, and I will click on this hello world image. Now as soon as I am going to click on this, uh, you are able to see one command which is docker pull hello world. So it means that by using this command I can run the container of this image into my local machine. So you can relate it with directly GitHub, in which you can see the code of other developers and you use git pull and the repository name. But now if you want to push your application to Docker Hub, so that all other friends which are which like all the friends of you who want to access the application, they should just like run this command docker pull your application name and they should be able to access your application. So for that, you need to Dockerize your application and push it to Docker Hub. So I will tell you how you are going to Dockerize your application and push it to Docker Hub. So it will be a simple procedure. So first of all, just go back and open like create a new repository. It is as simple as GitHub. So just move to your like home page. Just go on your home page of Docker Hub and try to create a new repository. So I am on my home page and I'll try to create. I will just first sign in here. You also have to sign in. I will just sign in with Google. Uh, okay. So just type your email address here and then try to sign in. And if you have signed it, then it is very easy for you because you need to have your own application. So just continue it. Okay, I think I am using the wrong browser. So I'll just switch my browser and again try to sign in into Docker Hub. So I will again open Docker Hub. You can also, if you do not have any like account created, just create your account with Google. Now you can see I am directly on this repository section. This is my username Kaustubh2093. So I have just two inactive repositories created till now. I will create a new repository. Click on create repository and give a repository name. So in this case, I am going to write a particular name. So YouTube, uh, YouTube tutorial. So I'll just give a name as YouTube tutorial and I will make it public and then I will create it. So you can see this name Kaustubh2093, which is your username slash YT tutorial. So just copy this thing and now I will open a different folder in which I have written a Docker file. So I'll just open that which is my dummy application Docker test app. I will open this folder. This is the same project, but the only thing is in this project I just some different kind of Docker compose.yml and Docker file. So the thing which I am going to do is I will give a random name here, maybe I'll just give name as my app on Docker Hub. And here I will give the image name. The remember the thing is you have to give the image name as your username slash your repository name. So then only you are going to push, you will be able to push that. Now I completed this part. I will just save this file. The thing is now you can see, I'll just erase the unnecessary part, remove that part. You can see version I told you it is necessary, not necessary, depends on you, but it is not necessary. Now under services section, we had Mongo earlier, we had Mongo Express earlier, but the like importance of multi-container application is now we are going to build our own application as well. So this will be my application. My container name will be my app. So I will try to rename my container name as well. I will try to switch the container name to same, which is my YT and tutorial. You can see I have bounded my port 5050 to 5050, and I have it is depending on Mongo because my application needs Mongo. I just provided Mongo URL in which you can see the MongoDB username, MongoDB password, then it depends on Mongo Express, Mongo image, and then the port and slash my database and the author source as admin. I just saved that. I hope everyone is able to understand what this part is. But now, one more necessary part here is we have build section because we are going to build this. So whenever I will try to use build command, it will search for build and it will see which service they are actually need to build. Here they can see that my app on Docker Hub, they need to build this. But the context is dot means this current directory, and in current directory docker file is docker file, so it means we are in this current directory and here we have this docker file created. Now what exactly docker file is? Before doing this I will explain you what docker file is. It is a very simple file but a very important file. Moving to my documentation. So for dockerizing your application, it is nothing but converting your application to Docker image so that you can delete your local code and you can just use that image and create containers to run your application. So it is nothing but converting your application to a Docker image and then an executable container. Now, we generally use Jenkins for this, but here we will use Dockerfile, which generally contains all instructions to Dockerize our app. So you understand the thing is, if we want to Dockerize our app, the all the instructions which are written, they are written in Docker file, and these are the commands. So Docker file is nothing but a file which contains all the instructions to build our application. By building our application, we can use the application as image container pair. These are the two things. One is you can just write docker build -t and give a random name. In case if you want to push your application to Docker Hub, I will suggest you to give name as your username slash your repo name. And this is the second thing by which you can access the bash. But we will go ahead with this part because when you are going to build any one service, you need this Docker build. But when you are using a multi-container application, you need Docker Compose to build. And for that, the command is Docker Compose build app name. Important thing is you need to write this command into the same directory of the project. So, or you can say the same directory in which your Docker file is there or your Compose file is there. So I will just open a new terminal here. And before that, again, what exactly Docker file looks like. So these are the common instructions for Docker file. I have written in details in my notes, which I will be adding in my documentation description on this video as well. So you can see these are some common Docker file instruction. If you go to uh, Docker documentation, you are able to find the all the similar things there as well. I just used this information from Docker docs. So there are some basic command, which is the first one is from image name. So if you will go to, I have just opened here. I will just open a Docker file. So I will try to open node image. Just understand in a simple words what exactly I am trying to say is when we use from in our Docker file, it means that our current image also has one base image. It is a concept of image layering which I have already discussed in last part. So I will try to open a node image. Just search for node, hit enter, and you will be able to see the node image which is displayed here. So click on node, and as soon as you are going to click that, you are going to see all the documentation and all the Docker files as well, supported tags and respective Docker file. I will try to open this Docker file, Alpine one. You can see the first thing is from Alpine. It means that for this particular node, the base image is Alpine. It depends. It sometimes it is Debian as well. So, in simple words, what I want to tell is when we use from image name, it means that to use a particular image, we need to have a base image. To use node, we need to have Alpine. To use node, we need to have Debian. Now, what work directory path is? So, this instruction specifies the working directory in which all the files will be there, on the commands will be running. So, for our application, the final command is node server.js. So, we should be executing that node server.js into our working directory. Then this is copy host path to image path. So, if you'll open the code, I just written from node 18 word directory, which is my slash my app. I am copying the package.json to dot slash. What dot slash means is my current directory. What my current directory is slash my app. So understand the thing is it is nothing but copying the files, or like you can see the instruction tells that the builder to copy files from host and put it into container image. Run commands, it is just the instruction which tells us builder to run the specified command. It is for running commands. So for one Docker file there might be n number of run command, because we can run different commands before executing the final command. We use npm install, we use npm install a particular service before executing npm run or npm start. So that is why we may have a number of run commands, but we generally have only one cmd. Now we have environment. This instruction sets an environment variable that's running container will use. Expose port, this is nothing but an instruction which is setting configuration on image that indicates a port. So just for port binding. This is nothing but the instruction sets the default user. And lastly, CMD. Each Docker file will have only one CMD, which is this instruction tells the default command a container using when this image will run, the final command. So in our application, we have copied the things as well. We have used npm run and like run npm install, and lastly, we will use cmd, which is my final command before executing my application, which will be node server.js. We need to write it separately. I hope you are able to understand what Docker file is. It is nothing but it contains the instruction to build our image. Now I will open the terminal, go to terminal and new terminal, and I will write that command docker docker compose build. You can see into ppt as well. Moving to this folder, when we use docker compose build, it is now going to build each and everything, and it is going to use the same name given in docker yml. So for proof thing, if we'll go to containers, we do not have anything in containers. In images, we just have these four images. Now I will execute this build command, docker compose build. So as soon as it is like started building, you can see it is building the application, and executed the last command as well. And I'll just maximize this terminal so that you can see what exactly is happening here. It is taking some time. 9 out of 10 resources are built already. It is copying and it is exporting the image. Now it is exporting the layers. You can see all the logs displayed here. It means step by step what it is doing and how the flow is there. So it is taking some time, and the 10 out of 11 are completed. It is unpacking, and I hope now in like about in a minute is it is going to complete all the building part. So what exactly we are doing is we are just building our uh, image so that we can use that image, and we can use that image directly without needing of any local code. So I can just now close my VS Code. So I will open first, and you can see there is no application running. I'll delete this terminal, There is no another terminal running as well, so I'll just now close my VS Code. Now you can see, just again moving to VS Code, in which I executed the command last time. Now it has built the image. You can see on Docker Hub, it is given the name of image. I will close that part. And in containers, if you go to container section, there will not be any container because we have not created any container yet. For that, we have our next command, which is my docker compose up hyphen d. So open the command prompt. It has built everything in last command, and I will now write only docker compose. So just try to open a new terminal again. You should not have closed if you are on the project right now, and just write docker compose hyphen up and d. So it is taking time, but we are going to execute the command, which is docker, then compose, and lastly we will use up and hyphen d. This command, if you remember the docker compose theoretical part which we discussed, it is used to start the services. I will hit enter. You can see all the services are started. So now in my VS Code, I am not using node server.js to run my local application. If I will delete my application now, there will not be any necessary thing or dependent thing on my application. Now just moving to Docker Hub, sorry, browser, and I will now try to access all the things. So I will use localhost 5050. You can see it is accessible. Go to localhost 8081. It should also be accessible. It is accessible. You can see it is accessible here. So I'll just again give you a demo whether it is really working or not. And again, my app. The password will be something related with that. Creating the account, you can see it has inserted now. And now going to my Mongo Express, I will refresh that. It is not going to display that part here. I will just open the database part, but it is not going to display because we have not created any kind of collection still now. So as soon as I'll create collection, I'm able to see the my app data which I just stored from that part. You can see the data is displayed here. So now you understood the thing is we created one application, but without using or running it on our local, we just built the image and now we executed the container of that image. And after executing the container, we are able to use all the files. So you can see, I'll move to images section. You can see my three images, they are in use and the containers are running. It means that we do not necessarily need our local code for running it again and again. We can build it to image, convert that image to container and execute that. Now the last part of the video come, and in which we will just push this complete built image to Docker up so that all other friends of you who want to use this project into their local, they can be able to use it. For that, simple, the thing is you need to open the CMD in which your project is stored. So this is my Docker text tab in which my project is stored. I will open the command prompt. Zoom it for you. So you need to first log in to your Docker Hub by using your terminal. For that, type Docker login. So if you can see, it is telling me login succeeded because like my Docker is also running on my same account. My Docker Hub is running on same account. So it is directly started to like it is login successful. But in case if you are new to this, when you will type Docker login, there will be two options in front of you. The first one will be you can just write Docker, like Docker login your username, and then you need to type your password to login, or else there will be one link. You need to click on that link. So after clicking on that link, you will just move to a particular UI where you have to paste a one time password. So that password will be also displayed here. But till now, I have completed the login part. I will now try to push my image. So for that, moving to my documentation, you can see what are the commands. I explained you Docker file as well. And now lastly, pushing to Docker Hub. So create account on Docker Hub, we created. Create a new repo, we already created. Build our application with same name as repo name. We did that as well. log in your terminal with your credential, we logged in. Now what are commands, which is this is for login, and this is docker push image name. So I will write docker push, and what is my image name? It is my username slash tutorial. You can see it is pushing the things. The very important part is, if your application size is into GBs, it is going to take time to push all the data into GBs. Now you can see it is telling me everything is pushed successfully. If I will now come here and refresh each and everything, you can see earlier there was nothing, but now we have a latest tag here. And now I will go to public view, and as soon as I will move to this public view, you can see I have this repository created, which is my YT tutorial, and I have this command, which is docker pull my username slash my repository name. So now by using this command, any of your friend who does not have node or anything set up on their machine, they can use and run your project without having any kind of basic setup. So that is what we were expecting in this two like Docker advanced workshop. I will summarize it for you. I just given documentation here as well. I'll try to add my presentation and documentation link into description on this video. Now cleaning part, just close each and everything which is running. I explained you how Docker Hub works. Just close your VS Code and then close your terminal as well. Go to Docker Hub and try to stop all the running containers. I'll click on this. I'll try to delete this, and after deleting that, it is going to take some time, but as soon as I am able to delete these containers, I can delete the image as well, because we really do not need anything now. We are just going to use the command docker pull our username slash repo name, and we are good to go with any kind of code. So the thing which we were doing in our very basic beginner friendly tutorial, we were going to Docker Hub. We were trying to pull the images which were already present on Docker Hub. At the end of this two series of Docker advanced series, we are going to, like, we have learned how we are going to Dockerize our own application, and then we are going to push our application to Docker Hub so that all other uh, developers or your friends, everyone can use that. So now summarizing, I have created all advanced part here. So the first thing, how you are going to use any particular service into your local if it is not present into your local by using Docker. Then we Dockerize, we build our own application, we post it to Docker. So all the basic part we have covered, and if you are till at the end of this video, I'll just like to thank you, because you have just watched this two parts completely. In first part we completed all the basic part, in the second part we completed the advanced version. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any doubts, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, or you can post your doubts on comment section as well. I have given each and every important related thing in my description. So once again, thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day.